All right, Cowboys Nation, we're ready to call it a win. The Cowboys won the trade. They won the trade. Kenny Clark played good football in his debut. The trade is over. We won. Micah's back is hurt. Might have to take shots. But yeah, we just Kenny Clark, early returns. What is this thing going to look like long term? Who knows? But just one day in, I do want to say salute to number 95. Kenny Clark played himself a nice football game. It could be a little different. I've gotten real used to the Cowboys not having, and I'm not going to pretend that that's Vita Vea or that Osa's Aaron Donald or whatever, but having a nice combination of defensive tackles, I'm not ready for it. It's a weird world. I'm not prepared to live in this world.
You know, it's shout out to Kenny Clark for coming in and being a consummate professional and doing what he has to do, but we have to make sure, and it's our job, right, as the analysts and the experts.
Don't tell me my job.
At this is making sure that we're painting the whole picture.
Should Kenny Clark go to the Hall of Fame tomorrow? Should they change the rules where you don't have to wait after that performance?
There you go.
Sorry, Jesse. What?
There you go. But because when we talk about stopping the run, and I don't know if we're to blame or not, but we always talking about, the middle. And stopping the run is a totality, right? Like teams aren't just strictly running down the middle, because even look at the graphic, they're still running to the outside, right? So it's not always about certain things like that.
Can I ask a question to the producer off camera in the middle of this?
Sure.
Yes. Do those inside tackles runs count the tush push? Because if they do, that's like 4 for 4, and those are all wins for them. So let's not pretend they dominated them.
On the graphic in front of you, it does. However, we worked really late last night. We were recording this on Friday morning, and I did not feel like doing the math of removing Jalen Hurts from some of the more analytical stuff there at the bottom. But if you go to DLS at DLS_Cowboys on Twitter, I did tweet out what the numbers were without Jalen Hurts, and they were not that different. Nice. I believe the 6.2 yards per carry outside the tackles went down to 5.7, and the inside went up to 1.6, I believe.
Okay.
Yeah. And so, the thing that we have to always remember is that when we're talking about running the ball in the middle, it's not necessarily like right behind the center's butt, right? Or right in the A-gaps. The runs happen all over. The run sometimes can be, you've seen Saquon Barkley come into the A-gap, it's closed, jump cut to the B gap or C gap and get some yardage there. So, Kenny Clark played really well, but you have to just understand across the whole line is that you need that run support, for this team. And when you're only going to commit 4 most of the time under Matt Eberflus, you're going to rely heavily on Kenny Clark, Osa Digizua, and others to win those one-on-one matchups. And my thing that I will be looking at throughout this entire year, because the snap counts are going to be really high for Clark, for Osa, in the middle of that defense. It's where are these guys at, and how will Eberflus be able to make sure that these guys don't wear down after week 5, 6, and 7. Week 1 is great. The energy's up. Nobody's really, really, truly banged up. Little nicks here and there, but it's going to be for the long haul of how these guys are going to be able to hold up in the middle of that defense. And now that film is out, right? Because there was this whole mystique of, yes, I know what Eberflus runs. Yes, I can kind of go back and look at some of the things that the offensive coordinator, Brian Schottenheimer, ran. But now I get a chance to see it with these players. Teams now going forward will be able to go, okay, this is how we combat this. This is how we combat that. So the give and take is going to be really interesting to see how Eberflus uses Osa and Kenny Clark in the middle of that defense.
Yeah, and I think also last week we talked to Matt Eberflus and really asked him, do you think we're going to see the best of Kenny Clark come week 1? And it was more so hey, you're just getting him in here days before the start of the season into a new system. I think no, as time goes on, we're really going to see more of Kenny Clark, and we're really going to see the best of Kenny Clark moving forward. I think yesterday was a good, way to start things off. But as time goes on, we will see more as he gets more comfortable into Eberflus.
Well, and it almost, and I don't know what the credit is for this, because look, different coaches ask people to do different things, And Oso Odighizuwa is long enough into his career now where who we believe he is as a player is fairly well established. Nice pass rusher, nice pressure player. You would consider him a below average run defender. In the game they just played, I think Oso was even better than Clark defending the run. And I don't know, is that playing off of each other and holy cow, we've actually really, really got something here, or how much of that is, especially once they lost Landon Dickerson, you're down 2 interior offensive line. I don't totally know what to make of it yet. But if actually having a quality guy next, because when's the last time they had a quality guy? When has Osa ever played next to a good NFL defensive tackle? Ever?
No.
We recall.
We might have a little something cooking. Now, I don't want to go out of I don't want to swerve across 3 lanes of traffic and say, what if we also had a great pass rusher?
Working on that.
But it is. It's nice. And they gave, it also kind of makes me not more. I mean, I can take the good out of that game and say, okay, and we get to go forward with that. But I also do think about the missed opportunity of what you had in that game and what those guys were partially responsible for giving you the chance to do in that game, because CeeDee Lamb on offense cost you. That's not going to happen very often.
Right.
No.
Watching film this morning on the defense, and your defensive tackles are in there doing the job, grinding it out, fighting their butts off. And it's just, whoops, you're not supposed to do that. Blown assignment. The Eagles get to 14 points, and to me, the main culprit, Dante Fowler's supposed to do his job.
Right.
Like, that's the vet out there on the outside.
Right.
You're not supposed to be the one losing contain. You're not supposed to take bad angles against a running back and turn a -4 into a +5. You're not supposed to be the guy that's letting them keep drives alive. And so like it zaps a little bit of it for me when I'm like, if you just had the guys you're supposed to be able to rely on, be reliable in week 1, you beat the Super Bowl champ. And instead, I don't get to have my massive celebration. I just get to go, okay, well, he's good, and that's good. Now we got to stack up some dubs because we let one get away. But it's a good start for Kenny.
No, it is. And that's the thing about defense. Like, defense is, you can have 10 guys doing the right thing, and the one guy doing the wrong thing throws everything off.
Absolutely.
Right? It throws everything off. And the defense took turns. Like, guys took turns not doing their stuff, right? We watching this morning, and Kenneth Murray, dude, if you stay on your angle, it's a stop play. But you cut back in, trying to go around him a block, you knock another guy off because he's doing his job and you didn't do yours. So it's that, and that has been the Cowboys curse. It's almost been the Cowboys curse, is that you're right there. You're on the precipice of doing something great, but it's the mistakes. And that's the things that have killed the Cowboys for a long time. We saw it offensively last night. We saw it defensively last night. And when you're playing the really good teams, the really good ones, you have to be on your A game, at least with the assignment alignment stuff. And the things, like you said, the accountable people being accountable to do the normal thing that they're supposed to do.
Good news, you got the Giants next. Cowboys by 50. Remember, you have no idea what anybody's going through. Be cool to everybody. We love you. Be easy.
Eliminate the contingencies.